This year marks the 20th anniversary of the September 21st Jiji earthquake. This 7.3 magnitude trembler killed more than 2,400 people and injured tens of thousands more. It toppled high-rises and left 200,000 people homeless in its wake.
For many Taiwanese, the earthquake is a closed chapter of history. But for rescuers and researchers, it triggered an explosion of improvement efforts that continue to this day. Today, in our weekly special report, we look at disaster response and how far it's come since 1999.
On September 23, 1999, a U.S. rescue team freed Xu Zetai, who had been trapped for 50 hours under the collapsed Guandi building in Yunning County.
우리가 이 다리 쪽으로 접근을 하고 있는데
The following day, a South Korean rescue team at Taichung's devastated Wangchao building used a life detector to pick up the heartbeat of 6-year-old Zhang Jinghong.
如果你有听到我们的声音，你就敲一敲，让救难人员知道你在哪里。
Assisted by technology, this foreign rescue team saved the life of a small boy. It was good news that cheered the spirits of a nation in mourning. But thinking back on those rescue efforts 20 years ago, Taiwanese rescuers say they're filled with regret.
当时没有什么搜索工具。
At the time, we didn't have any tools to search with. It was all just shovels, pickaxes, flashlights, buckets, and people digging through rubble. We would shine our flashlight into every crevice, slowly searching.
最主要是我们要先确认有没有伤者。
Our first main task was to check for casualties. To do that, we could only draw from our past experiences. We did things like knocking on surfaces and calling out. We went to search sites that the locals directed us to. Back then, we didn't have the equipment we have today.
It was only until a few days later that international rescuers began arriving. At disaster zones where progress had ground to a halt, those crews made new discoveries.
那时候，其他先进国家的搜救队伍
Before the rescue teams from those advanced countries left Taiwan, they put their equipment on display, laying it all out for us to see. It was then, when looking at their equipment, that I started to realize that when responding to an earthquake, you need a different set of equipment. You need equipment that's different from what you use for fire rescue.
This encounter with international crews forced a reckoning with Taiwan's inadequate emergency response.
Sergeant Rescue, can you hear me?
We're at a firefighting training station in Nantou's Zhushan Township. Here, special disaster response teams run periodic earthquake drills.
里面的人听得到我声音吗？
Right after the Jiji earthquake, rescue teams from around the world brought in 103 rescue dogs to help. At the time, Taiwan did not have a single rescue dog of its own. In 2010, the National Fire Agency established a search and rescue dog team, which also trains at Zhushan Township.
那搜救犬一般来讲就是最强大的一个搜索的工具了。只要领犬员
Generally speaking, search and rescue dogs are the best rescue equipment you could have. A dog's handler tells it to search a certain location. It adapts to the wind conditions and to the circumstances at the site. It performs with the greatest efficacy. If the dog smells something, most often we will follow that up with a radar search. With the radar, you can detect a person's breathing, heartbeat, and movement. You can very quickly confirm whether someone is there.
They have life detectors, fiber optic imaging probes, and sonar sensors. Taiwan's rescuers have upgraded their equipment, and they continuously train to prepare for the worst natural disasters. Meanwhile, scientists are leaving no stone unturned in their rescue research.
国际上有非常多的文章报告说
There's a tremendous body of international literature that says that several days before a major earthquake, electromagnetic fields will start to receive unusual signals, strange signals. Sometimes it may be very high frequency. Sometimes it is a large low-frequency disturbance.
On August 8, 2019, a magnitude 6 earthquake struck off the coast of Yilan County. Professor Chen Jianzhi says that just before the earthquake, strange data was recorded at electrical field sensors installed at Yilan's Touchen, Suao, and Xingchen townships.
我们其实在半年前甚至更早以前
About half a year before, and even before then, this electromagnetic field had shown abnormalities. Prior to the 2016 earthquake at Meinong, we saw some strange readings for the southeastern electromagnetic field. But these are merely anecdotes. The hard part is identifying the time window. Once abnormalities appear, exactly how long will it be before there is an earthquake?
Liu Zhenyan is a space technology research professor at National Central University. He also believes that changes in electromagnetic fields can be a precursor to earthquakes.
那台湾的话，基本上，规模5.4以上的这些地震。
In Taiwan, prior to an earthquake above magnitude 5.4, there are changes 1 to 5 days before the event. Variations might be observed for a single day in that period, or for 2 or 3 days. Sometimes it happens all 5 days. Sometimes the electron concentration is extremely high. Sometimes there's a sharp drop in electrons or in the plasma density.
Well before the 1999 Jiji earthquake, Professor Liu had raised his hypothesis that electron variations could be used to predict earthquakes. At the time, his hypothesis was dismissed as science fiction.
921的时候，事实上也就是我们启动的那一时候，因为
The Jiji earthquake was when I started my research. What we saw made it quite obvious. There was a very obvious change in the electrical field over time. So the Jiji earthquake launched all my research on the ionosphere. It corroborated my hypothesis, so I got to work.
To ease suffering and minimize casualties, researchers and rescuers throw themselves into their work. Their mission is to honor victims of fires, storms, and earthquakes by keeping people safe when disasters strike again.